Let me read to you a passage from the 15th chapter of St. John's Gospel, verses 26 to chapter 16, verse 4. It's the Gospel for Monday of the 6th week of Easter. St. John writes, Jesus said to his disciples, "When the Counselor comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth who proceeds from the Father, he will testify about me. And you also must testify, for you have been with me from the beginning. All this I have told you, so that you will not go astray. They will put you out of the synagogue. In fact, a time is coming when anyone who kills you will think he is offering a service to God. They will do such things because they have not known the Father or me. I have told you this, so that when the time comes, you will remember that I warned you." That's from John chapter 15, verse 26 to chapter 16, verse 4. It suggests thoughts about the divine counselor. What do I mean? Well, Christ promised a marvelous gift, the divine counselor. If we receive him, as we do at baptism, and if we abide in his light and love, we shall not go astray. He will testify about me, our Lord says. They will put you out of the synagogue. That is to say, our Lord promises suffering for those faithful to him. Let me tell you about one person, Catherine Jarrigue. Catherine was born on October the 4th, 1754, into a poor family of peasants in France. Her parents and their 7 children all lived together in a single household. She worked in the fields with her family, and at the age of 19 was sent to work as a servant of a neighbor. At about this age, she made her first Holy Communion, and in due course she became a third-order Dominican. She spent a great deal of time providing for the spiritual and material needs of the poor. Then, during the French Revolution, begun in 1789, she was among the first to actively sustain the Catholic faith by helping the priests who refused to swear an oath to the civil constitution of the clergy, which was condemned by the Pope of the time. These were the non-juring priests, those who would not swear to the state. By November of 1791, the decree was out. They were to be arrested. Most were arrested, and the majority of them were kept in prison ships, where many died within a few months from the appalling conditions. The persecution of the Terror, the French Revolution terror, thus begun, evolved into active de-Christianization by 1793. In October 1793, in France, a law was passed sentencing non-juring priests to death, together with those who harbored them. Less than a month later, the goddess of reason was installed on the high altar of Notre Dame Cathedral. It was in this climate that Catherine, a lacemaker and third-order Dominican, and known for her generosity to the poor, showed her colors. Catherine created a priest underground that slipped clergy in and out of her area successfully, that ensured priests were fed and safe, and that met the sacramental needs of faithful Catholics in her area. No baby went unbaptized, no one died without confession. She only lost one priest, whom she accompanied fearlessly to the guillotine. After his execution, Catherine took some of the martyr's blood and smeared it on the eyes of a blind child who was instantly healed, at which point the executioner began to cry, "I'm lost, I'm lost, I've killed a saint." One of her exploits was the following. Catherine was guiding a priest disguised as a revolutionary peasant out of the area. To prevent discovery, Catherine had doused the disguised priest with wine and told him to walk as though he were drunk and let her do the talking. As they walked along, they encountered a revolutionary soldier. Thinking quickly, Catherine began to yell at her walking companion loudly as though she were scolding her husband. The soldier sympathized with Catherine's husband. "Citizen," he consoled the disguised priest, "if I had a wife like that, I'd drown her in the nearest river." The undercover priest is said to have agreed. "Citizen, so would I." Catherine was instrumental in re-establishing the life of the Catholic community after the Revolution and lived to be 82. Once the great upheaval had passed, she continued her charitable work and was instrumental in re-establishing the life of the Catholic Church until her death in 1836. As a young woman, she loved to dance but gave it all up to serve the poor. A large crowd attended her funeral, and her popularity remained very great to modern times. Pope Pius XII declared her venerable in 1953, and she was beatified on November 24, 1996, by Pope John Paul II. Catherine Jarrigue received into her soul the divine Counselor at her baptism, and chose to be led by him during the course of life amid numerous dangers. Christ speaks of some of those dangers in the Gospel I read earlier. Let us resolve to make this divine Counselor our own during the days of life. How blessed we shall be if we do this. Christ says of the divine Counselor, "The Spirit of truth who proceeds from the Father, he will testify about me. And you also must testify, for you have been with me from the beginning." Catherine's life was a life of testimony to Jesus. The divine Counselor will help us also to do this.